We should get that vote in the House today to end the government shutdown. I have to say one thing has pleasantly surprised me, because when you get truth, maybe you learn a lesson. It really seems like everyone agrees, right? Left, middle, mainstream media, regular media, whatever. They all agree the Democrats lost this thing, Jennifer. They lost. And hopefully that means we won't have another stunt like this for the next couple of years.
They did lose, and they lost badly. I mean, you have to be so impressed, right, with President Trump and his messaging here. I mean, look what he did within the first few days of the shutdown. He took the money from the tariffs, the most controversial part of his administration so far, and he took that and fed women, infants, and children with that. As soon as that happened, I thought, this is going to be a different kind of shutdown, not the George W. Bush kind of shutdown where, Paul Ryan and others get accused of, pushing Granny off the cliff. I knew then that we were off to a much better start. And look, I think the result of this has been, Democrats showing up with egg on their face. I think this actually could be the end of Chuck Schumer, because if you listen in to what's happening at the dinner table in big Democrat cities, like New York City, people are frustrated, and there's a lot of infighting in the Democrat Party. So major, major points on the board for Donald Trump and the GOP.
Someone should study Chuck Schumer's brain, or what's left of it. This was a brilliant young man. He went to Harvard. I think this is, if you spend too long as a career politician or as a career celebrity in Hollywood, I think really someone should study this. I think it melts your brain. The guy sat next to me at my high school graduation. He was a congressman at the time. I was in his district, my high school was at least. And he was sitting there on the dais, and he was just, the man is just not smart. He just isn't. I think he was at one time, but he is not smart, and he didn't handle this properly, and I'm not surprised. He's also not a serious person. Some of the stuff he does privately is like that of a child. Again, another entire program we can do on that. Hey, Jennifer, it's no secret to the viewer, really, it's no secret to the viewers of this program that I loathe government economic reports. And that doesn't matter who the president is. This is not about a Trump or an Obama thing or a deep state thing. I just think they're all bad. And sometimes it's not even on purpose. They're just not done right, because they're done by a bunch of government workers who don't understand real business. So maybe I'm biased, but I really, really like the idea that DoorDash, of all companies, but it actually makes sense, DoorDash is now doing its own national economic report. It came out for the first time this week. Now, it makes sense that DoorDash is doing this because they don't just deliver food from restaurants. People buy everything from them. So they kind of have a good handle on what the prices of things are, what people are able to pay. And guess what, Jennifer? They're saying what they see. And again, DoorDash isn't friends with any president or any party. DoorDash says prices are getting under control, and that people have more spending money than people think they have. So this is very interesting. I would love to see more companies do this. And of course, now I'm hungry for something that DoorDash can deliver to my, I want a data report, and I want like an egg and cheese sandwich. How about you?
Well, this is so interesting. I think one of the criminal things that happens in Washington, D.C. is when bureaucrats who have never had a job, have never run a business, have never signed the other side of a paycheck, when they are in charge of telling we, the American people, exactly what's going on with our pocketbooks. And it is, you're right, it's garbage in, garbage out for a lot of these economic reports. And we knew that, right, 10 years ago when Barack Obama started taking, food and energy, the two biggest, costliest things out of the, economic report, the cost of living report. I mean, that told you everything you needed to know about how they were manipulating the numbers. I agree with you, Jake. I think more private companies should start doing this. In fact, if you look at how Joe Biden tinkered with the crime numbers by no longer including violent crime in the crime statistics, which is, laughable. Yeah. I think ADT ought to get into this game too. Tell us how crime's going out there, how are burglaries going out there, and response times of police. I agree. Sometimes the private sector can just do things better.